Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here, and welcome back to episode 33 of Non-League to Legend, the French Save, as we take Paris 13 Atletico. As a semi-professional club, who only have a non-league history all the way up and to become better than PSG. If you have watched the last two episodes, which I recommend you do, you would have seen that we secured the promotion and then the title in the previous two episodes. And we did win our last two games as well in the run-in with the league. Since then, we have not done anything. I have still got my 2.81 transfer money. Today's episode is going to be like we've done the last few years in the game, of breaking down what we're going to do, coming back in when we're signing players, outlining who we're going for, stuff like that. And hopefully it's another cracking episode today. Obviously, it was a fantastic year for us as well. But this is the first time we're going to see club vision and expectations from our new chairman. He kind of took them all out of the game when he came in charge. This is the first time we're going to see it, and it's very similar to what it was last time. And they want us to play attacking football, possession football, entertainment, and high tempo. The one thing I do like that's on there is attempt to avoid relegation from Ligue 1. When we came up to the second division, they wanted me to stay up. Period. You get sacked if you don't stay up. They just want me to attempt to avoid it, which means even if we go and get relegated, they'll probably keep me in a job unless we get absolutely hammered every game, which is great. So we do that as well. Squad dynamics, their end of season team meeting as well. Look, we'll get to that a bit later on as well. And unfortunately, we can only go in France. So yeah, go to the Alps in France, so that's what the team looks like as well. I want to break down statistical data. I'll also give you the last couple of games of results here. We beat Toulouse 3-1, Collie scoring an own goal, and Mawissa scoring from a corner, and then we did have Indoor scoring the only goal in a game where we were the better team against Grenoble. Important to note that my ambition for this year, once we have won the league, was to actually have won the league last year, because Lens are a really good team. And, RC Lens, as you can see, only got 76, so we would have pipped them on the final day if we were in the same league with them. Important to note, they're coming straight back down. They have a better team than us as well. There still is one more game to go there. They do have a better team than us. But they come straight back down. Dijon as well, who were in the comp last year too, are going straight back down as well. And important to note, two teams that have given me a job offer, which we have rejected, FC Nantes and Strasbourg, are staying in the league. Important to note there, FCSM, Bordeaux, and AC Ajaccio, all teams that have been in the second division in this save, Bordeaux mainly because of financial issues, but all staying in the league relatively comfortably. There is a world where AC Ajaccio does lose, and all the teams, including AJ Oriedo, all win, and they fall into a relegation playoff zone. But let's not wish the bad luck on them. Let's go talk about our team, because you'll notice that throughout the time this year, we did look at the statistical data and we complained a lot, saying, we expected to concede only 40 goals and we're conceding 52, and, we expected to score 60, we only scored 55 and 54. I actually think towards the end of the year, we definitely became a lot better and a lot stronger. And I feel like once you get a really together group dynamic this year on FM, it's a big part of this being a big group dynamic, and I think we are definitely going to have a look at the statistical data of Team Detailed and go and have a look there. Average possession only 52%. You might think that's a bit higher playing in the 4-2-3-1. There is games where we do not dominate the ball, but we're still really good because the system can play on the break, which is great. But yeah, if you're looking at attacking, right, we 75 goals per game, 75 goals in 34 matches, and an expected goal of 2.21. If you have a look at the expected under achievement though, we're expected to score 84. So -9 basically, if you round that up, which is crazy. It's the worst in the league. I find this happens to every one of my teams every single season on FM for the last 2 years since we've had XG in the game. I don't know why. It may be lack of quality players, but it used to happen to me all the time. It used to happen to me all the time in my save last year in 1860 Munich. Answers if you have any idea how to get that up. But still, I always say if I'm inside 10, because it's usually 10 or more, I'm generally okay with it. And look, when you're scoring 75 goals in a league season, you're not going to complain too much, are you? But yeah, expected goals for, 83.98 or 84, as you can see there, and 78.85 penalty as well. Two teams scored 10 goals from corners. This year we only scored 5, but, we don't score too many, but we score a bit. The conceding one as well I want to see. We conceded, joint 6th, 41 goals in 34 games, which doesn't scream fantastic, but it also screams that it was a lot better than what we were tracking at. There was a lot of points throughout the season where we had the worst defence of the league, and then we regressed to the mean, which is great. We were expected only to concede 38, right, and we conceded 41. So there was a time and a place, right, where we were 9 or 10 over the expected goal ratio. And I think that you can tell eventually, towards the back end of the year, there's a few more nil-nils, a couple in a row, another one there, another 3, 4 in a row in April. 4 out of our last 5 games, clean sheets. I think it helps, and it shows that the statistical data, that once we got a good partnership together and we got a team that was ready and flowing and ready to go up, which I believe the team started as a raw team that had the potential, then we grew and had obviously Dosu, you had Collie, Dosu, Indoor, Kieda coming into the team. Where is he? Ndaiga Cisse. They all came into the team as raw Senegalese talents. And by the end of this year, that all 4, including Collie obviously, are either a League 2 good player or better in Collie's case. And that's the last one we're going to touch on before we talk about what I'm going to do with this team. They're a good, they're good players that have developed into being we're too good for this division, which is great because we're in poor facilities, and they've developed, which is fantastic. The last person I'm going to speak on is Collie. For us to stay up, he needs to stay here. He's got 2 more years left on his deal. I don't think he wants to leave. I don't want to retie anyone just yet, but I would retie him. He is starting to get concerned that he wants to leave to go to a bigger club, but, would you say Victoria Pleasant are a bigger club? Yeah, because they play in Europe. VTSC and Famalicão do play in a better division as of right now. But in this time next year, mate, or actually 6 months' time, you would have been playing in League 1, which is a far more reputable league. Important to note, development-wise, because we've been playing week in, week out, this is the best version of El Hadji Collie I've ever seen. And he's immense. Ended this year with 30 goals in 32. This is a guy that left Lyon and struggles for Gold FC, National League, but because he's come from Lyon, used to be a bit of a wonder kid on FM, is someone that, still holds a pretty decent amount of potential. And with the way the match engine loves pace, this guy's got 16 and 29 to keep us up. We put better players around him, 30 and 32. Last part of this episode before we do go and get into some scouting and people we're looking to sign, etc., is what do we need to change? If I was to pick my best 11, which I reckon is Shane, who doesn't want to stay at the minute. Not him, but Watford don't want to give him back to me. And Kieda. You can see the areas, not Kieda, in Ndaiga Cisse. You can see the areas where we're good, you can see the areas where we're not. Straight off the bat, we don't need a keeper. This guy's only going to develop more if we're just playing in the top flight. Look. Lucas Schindler looks so much like a backup to Manuel Neuer if there ever was one. His 1-on-1's nearly 15. I think this guy's going to develop into an absolute monster. I have no issues with him. We've got to definitely tie him down to a new deal. And look, I think Gozzi's good enough to warrant a spot for next year too. And Shane doesn't want to stay. Like when you go to Watford, they tell you it's too early. Because I want to giving him some first team football. Probably important to look while we're here. Watford finished 5th in the championship. Have got a playoff spot. I want them to get promoted to the Prem because 2 things happen if they get promoted to the Prem. Either they'll go, well, he's probably not Premier League ready, so we'll loan him out to you again. Or secondly, we need a forward midfielder in the Premier League. Shane's the man. He's going to develop and be sold on for more money, which is great. So we'll keep an eye on that. On top of that, though, these 4 going forward, fantastic, which straight away makes you think that we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm happy to have these guys on the bench. Mawissa wants to be an important player. I would love to keep him here for the entirety of the save because he is just so good. If we get relegated, we know he can do the job in the lower levels, which is fantastic. Mawissa wants a chance in the top flight. Look, he can improve it significantly. Maybe we're being a bit harsh on him. Maybe we should be playing him next year. So maybe we actually leave it like that and get the two guys that have played together to stay, and maybe really Palazzo, and then all of a sudden it's looking at two right backs and left backs, because Marissa was young enough where he probably deserved the opportunity, and physically enough at 6'1" to still do a job with the tackling. So I think that's not too bad. If we can keep Shane, yes. If not, we need a ball-winning midfielder. But straight away, you're looking. This is not a year for me to go sign more Senegalese forward-thinking talent. It is go and get your wing backs. Go get a proper Segundo Volante, someone that can go up and down of quality. And these two wing backs you need to be first team regular wing backs. And I think what we're calling out for here in this episode is to buy probably more experienced wing backs that have played at this level to really help these younger guys in the team. Coley has not got experience at this level. At a youth level, yes, but not played. Gozzi and Mawiso have not failed at this level. Schindler's probably the most experienced at this level because he did spend a long time around the Bayern's first team, even though he never played for Bayern under Manuel Neuer. And then you're obviously looking at Dossou, Cisse and Indor, who are all knocking on the door to play for Senegal, but aren't there yet. Also important to note as well, when African Cup of Nations come around, and if these guys all get picked, we lose all of them. That is the whole front four gone. If Senegal call up Collie, which they may or may not do. There's also then you're losing Kieda off the bench as well. If he gets called up, which I don't think he does, so he slots in. There's a world where we might be able to go and try and get maybe some backup talent for the bench, and even if it's a bit more experienced, just to help us stay in the league next year. It's probably the way to go. Don't get me wrong, if there is the right one to get around, and if we find them cheap enough, we'll go for it, but I think we're going to find it hard to find the player of quality and the players that we need to stay up next year, but I wouldn't rule it out. Anyway, this part of the episode done. It's not going to be the end of the episode. We've had our chat. We need two wing-backs and a Segundo Volante at a minimum. We probably could go for a centre-back as well, and we may need to start scouting a ball-winning midfielder, because it does look like that Shane Sanna does. Well, he does want to go back to Watford, but Watford want him back. It's going to be interesting to see what we buy, eh? This will be the next part of the episode. We'll be back live on stream, so links down below. Give us a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like these sort of videos where I'll go a bit more in depth about the squad, which we've done last few seasons. Leave it in the comment section. And let's go see who we sign, who we scout, and who will come to Paris 13, and undoubtedly who are going to reject us that we really, really want. We are currently live on stream. We've been scouting for an hour and 40 minutes. 2026 World Cup's underway. We're looking for some World Cup squads. Our scouts are currently just providing anyone, right, of note, if that was to come up, and I could actually show you my settings, B+ or better, right? So they have to have either really good potential or already of a decent level, because we can the position we're in, right, with the players that we need to cover, we can no longer get players that are like 2-star at like 22 that we could play in the team to try and get the 4-star, like something like we did with Collie. Main reason is that we can't offer it to them. We can't afford to play them because they're just going to get absolutely licked in the top flight. We are back with you though, because we have got a couple bids in for a couple midfielders. Firstly, I will speak about a left back. Alioski's actually interested in coming. He's going to take a wage cut from 57k down to 15. The most I can offer is 9. If I could sign him, even though he's a bit on the slower side, just the experience of a guy that's been in the Premier League, and the fact that he wants to come to us, and the fact that if you have a look at his scout report, he would be our best player by a mile. You'd probably have to play him at left back. So, yeah, look, I've tried. But midfielder-wise, I've actually made a bid for a player with money, and I've made a free transfer bid. So, firstly, Augustin Mullet, he plays for Stoke, who did not get promoted this year. He is 26 years of age, and he's leaving on a free. We've put a bid in, and straight away Malmo's gone in for him, even though he hasn't had a bid on this whole time. What I love about him here is he is a proper boarding midfielder on support. It fits the system. This is his preferred role. Very mentally well-rounded, physically well-rounded, technically well-rounded. The only thing I will say, he doesn't have that standout attribute. He doesn't have that standout, thing that's like, oh, that's what you're really good at. But he's really good at doing everything, ticking it over, and he has a little bit of experience. It's not great experience. Vélez are a good club, obviously. Stoke are Stoke. So he's been a part of a team that obviously on a cold rainy night at Stoke has a little bit of grit and a little bit of oomph about him. And we've always had that in the middle of the park with Shane Sanna, who I'm resigned to the fact that we're not going to be able to get in on loan next year because they will not talk to me about loaning him back. If you compare him to Shane, while he's still here as well, yes, Shane's 20. Yes, Shane will outgrow him. Maybe in our facilities he may not, but at Watford he definitely will outgrow him. What you get with Augustin Melt is a player that is slightly better than what you had in the middle of the park last year. Yeah, doesn't understand the team dynamic, but he's very good. Vision, attacking better, defending better, everything else is very similar. As you can see there, Shane is, although not as good technically, you know what Shane's all about. He's determined, he's aggressive, he can read play, and he's physically a brute because he's got good jumping reach, good balance, and good stamina. He can do it all. He can do it all physically, can Shane, where this guy's a little bit more, I read the game okay, I win the ball back okay, I can move the ball around about okay. He's also tempting me to play him as a Segundo Volante a little bit as well, because he could do the job, but we've got a guy to speak to you about that. And his name is Markel Lozano. As you can see there, look, Segundo Volante, very good player. He wants to be an actual Segundo Volante. 650k is too much money for what I want to spend. I put in a bid for 250 and straight away all these clubs are coming for 675. It's annoying because I don't think we can get him away from Las Palmas. But for me at 30, experienced, physically physical, right? Great first touch. Great ability to win a ball back, 6'2", and loves the Segundo Volante role. I think he would be fantastic. Now, the only thing I will say about that is the thing he lacks is quality experience. Came through as a BBL prospect, never played. Been in and around second division B1 and hasn't been whatever and couldn't make the step up. Has never played in the top flight. Is that the right experience you want at the football club? No. It's the one thing that worries me, but statistically he looks good enough. Get him in and around as a player that's been here, understands the game, alongside Muller, if we could pick up both of them. I know that we've got two guys that know their roles, and as much as it's not Masawemu who understands how to play alongside Shane Saniff really well, and Shane can sweep up everything, it's two guys that, look, we may not be as good as Shane Saniff, but we're guys that know how to play our role and can chip in, and that's probably what we need. Two guys with a bit more experience than being kids that can chip in and be really solid in the top flight, because the goal's just to keep us up. So we've gone in for both of them. Hopefully we get at least one of them. Something tells me, though, the way it went last year, and the way it's probably going to go this year, we may struggle to get any of them. Well, YouTube, what a U-turn, and I'm loving life. I've gone in, we had this bid rejected, bid 650k, and I was just like, clicked on his name and was like, I wish they would talk to me. And every time we went to the transfer offer screen, right, they would just be like, we want to give this guy a first-time opportunity, we don't want to do anything. The transfer window officially has just opened, by the way. And they've turned around and said, look, 40% wage and 40% unused, we'll let you go. And I think it's because Watford have finally realised they've actually moved into the top flight. If it wants to. Or maybe they've figured out they're moving into the top flight. And because of that, it looks like now that we could get Shane back. And I'm over the moon because Shane is a player that is not close, but close enough. I've only did it as a 1 year loan. I didn't be greedy and ask for two. I just said, as soon as they said yes, I was like, done, right? Because there is a world where we can look to make signings. I'm still going to keep my bids in for both of them. Telling you right now, I prefer to get Augustin in. And the main reason is he's going to be a lot cheaper, bit younger, and I think he can still do a job going up and back, up and back, up and back, and complement Shane. But if Mikel wants to come in, that's fine as well. We also rise significantly in the rankings. Now, if you have a look at just France rankings, there we are. We are there. Where apparently there's a club called, this club here, an amateur club, that have got a better reputation than myself in France, and I don't know why. But okay, that makes perfect sense. When we rose up into there, I don't know who they are, but they've got a very good reputation. We finally have come from the bottom of the bottom, which is good. And yeah, bit of a rise. Okay, so it looks like Shane is staying. That is a very good thing. It's official, boys. Shane's coming back for another year. Except he's back in. More importantly, lads, we've been officially put into the top flight. We're going to receive at least 10.96 mil, so 11 mil. We haven't had more than a mil and a bit in the club at any given time. That is monstrous. Still have apparently 1.6k in the transfers because I'm playing around with budget. I have made a bid for another player. Don't know how this is going to work. Hector Fort is his name. I love the look of him. He's a Barcelona player that wants to leave Barca for only 250k because he wants first team football. For me, I love it. Determination of 15. Physically pretty damn good. Well-rounded. He loves to be a wing-back on attack. Also loves to play, get out, gets forward, tries to play away out of trouble and dives into tackles. him and Indoor, who I've signed on new deal, want to see the training facilities improved. It's something that I will do at the end of the year, not something I'll do right now. But fantastic player, Spanish. Has never played for Barcelona, I don't think, but has always been in and around the B team. So I'm happy with that. I think he's definitely someone that we're going to bring in and hopefully provide the next level to. But more importantly, Shane is back officially as we sim through one more day. We can put him into the team and know that the game has officially given him back to me. We love it. Ball-winning midfielder on support. He's staying. Now we just need to find one more midfielder to put alongside him, our left back as well. But we've got the right back in from Barca. Hopefully, no one else seems to be interested in him. And he looks fantastic. There we go. Look at that. He's so good. So good. And he's back again for another year. Right in there. YouTube, awesome. Hector Fort. Didn't think about it too much. He's already in. We've got our right back for the year. Does mean we have 3 right backs now. Hopefully get rid of 3 and make it 2. We are going to list up one of them. I don't think it's going to be Matty either. I feel like Matty's been so part of the core of the group. We're going to go with the other one, the Sabres guy. The only thing I will say is at least Sabres can be a decent backup because of his pace. But there he is, in for 250k. I wonder if he joins us right now. Let's find out here. See what comes in. Here he is. Beautiful. Send him on an intensive language course. Well, get our Stewie to welcome him in. There we are. He's pretty good. Pretty good. League 2 standard. Yeah, man. I think we've got a pretty good signing there. Has Hector Fort. He comes in, plays in a preferred role. I'm going to get him straight away, and we're going to get him working on his ability to probably defend. Because he doesn't have the best marking. Positioning and positioning could get him up as well. And he's young enough that because he's playing in the top flight and he hasn't really played at Barca, he should see some rapid development in the next couple of years, which is good. So we have signed him in. We've got people that we've had loans on. I don't think we're going to go for him. He's decent and he's quick, but that's about it. There's some people there. I will say that Ayub Solomon has been on loan, has actually done okay. He's probably still too raw, but definitely might try to loan him out. Elioski's had a bid. It's unfortunate. He probably doesn't want to talk to me by now. Wants to be a regular starter. Okay, let's have a look. Training facilities, no. Let's not do that and let's not do that. I would actually look to improve the coaching team, actually. Coaching team? What do we want? It's 12. It's because I've got bids in on other people. Yeah, just walk away. I think we're going to have to give up on the Alioski chase. Still waiting to see what happens with one of these. I think this one here is killing us because it's 600k out the budget. But yeah, wait and we'll see. See if we sign a midfielder. We could even end up with both. Don't particularly want that, but we could. YouTube, we have our midfielder. Augustin Mullet came to us saying that he wants to get a new deal, or a bit more of a preferred deal over the Malmo one that he's had. I've gone then and taken out the other deal for the other midfielder because it gives me more budget where I can do a bit more stuff, which is great as well. And let's see what happens now. It should let me get him in and put him alongside Shane Saneth. As Segundo Volante, he's not like, oh my goodness, he's not as good as what the Spanish 31-year-old there would have been, which is Lozano. But at 26, an Argentinian, he's our third foreign player. We're allowed 4, we're allowed 1 more. Yes, I could sell on Marverin as well, but it's something I'm planning to do in next season. But yeah, he's a good signing. There you are. Look, I think that is something that we're really happy with. He's a leading League 2 player, which is really good for us. Loves a big game, fairly consistent. If you have a look at him, he's very well-rounded. I think this is a good enough Volante on support. He's good apart from the ability that he can't shoot. Everything else, though, he gets up and down. He's got good work rate, really well-rounded. I think you can't go wrong with him. And I think we will, at the end of the day, turn over a tidy profit on him eventually as well. We've got our midfielder. Now we need to find a left back. I'll be back in a second. Hello, YouTube. Welcome back. You know how I said we were looking for a left back? You know, we said someone was a little bit expensive. Yeah, who cares? Who honestly cares? He's in. I tried to talk him out of a deal twice. They rejected it both times, his agent. So you know what he did? He went and turned around. He sat in his agent. I went back in for him. He goes, no agent fee. What do you want to do? And I was like, all right, take 10k a week. Just take it. and we ended up giving him a whole heap of stuff. But Alioski, who plays for Leeds, who's at Southampton in the game, is coming in to me on a free. And look, we have plenty of transfer budget, which I'm not going to use, which I'm going to put back in the wage. So that's going to help as well. Went to Leeds, played in the Championship. Obviously, we know he's played in the Premier League. Went to the Saudi League, chased some money. Went to Southampton 5 mil. Played 27 games in the Premier League last year at a 6.5. 37 games 2 years ago at a 6.94. I'm telling you right now, I am over the moon with this one. That is a massive, massive signing because he is a good League One player, consistent, enjoys a big game, and he's going to come in with big amount of reputation, right? And lastly, what it's going to do for us, he's also Albanian and Swiss, so he comes as non-European, he comes as like non-foreign, so it's fine, which is great. Work rate galore, flair, determination, can get up and down, got stamina and natural fitness, which means his physicals aren't going to decline too much. Look, for me, for 2 years from 34 to 36, keep me in the league, mate. Keep me in the league, give me 2 good years, and then we can let you retire. Because I think you're fantastic. Wing back on attack, 100%. In he comes. That is a great signing, which means we've now signed Alioski at left back, Augustine Mullet as a new Segundo Volante, and we've got, in at the club at the moment, Shane staying because Watford stayed up in the Championship, went up from the Championship, so they've allowed me to keep him. I'm only paying 40% of his wage. And fought from Barcelona for 250k because he wanted to leave Barca because he wasn't getting enough football, with the pace and the determination to hopefully develop this year. And I think this kid, out of all the signings, has the potential to be the best as well. I think we're in a really, really, really good spot. When I'm going to be back YouTube is I am going to be back on the 1st just to see how the 2 new signings fit into the squad and what the squad looks like. And then from there, what do we need? Not much. Not much at all. All we need is to trim the squad. But with those 2 signings coming in, Augustin and Alioski, 4 in as well, we have got our 11. That is shaping up with Shinola, Fort, Mawissa, Gozzi and Alioski. Sanaf with Augustine Mullet. And then the front 4, the Senegalese 4 of Indor, Cisse, Dosu, and of course the star-studded Collie. I think we have done a job, and I think that 11 has the potential to keep us up this year. We'll be back in a second to recap the signings on July the 1st. Yes, I've done my deals early. I'd rather get them out the way now and get these boys in before other clubs pick them up. Welcome back, YouTube. 6:30 in the morning. Mum's still asleep, but we need to film this last part of the episode. Obviously, I got off to watch the soccer last night. Good on the Swiss for getting up and taking over and winning that game as well. Unfortunately for us, Uruguay cost me my multi because I did not beat South Korea. Anyhow, we're going to get straight into it. We do have our signings here on the 1st of July, and 2 deals have been finalised. We're going to send them both on an intensive language course. Firstly, Augustin Mullet has come in. There he is in his glory. He looks fantastic. If you go to the coach report screen, is a decent League One player with good League One potential. Counts as a foreign player. A total of 3 as well. Coming from Stoke, I think that's a great signing. And then obviously Alioski comes with that experience that we are oozing and craving for. He's a decent League One player. Even if we get relegated, he would stay in the next season. So even if we go down first season, he would give us 1 more year to go and try and get back up, and he would be a monster of a left back in our level as well. If you look at the team, that is your best 11. I don't plan on signing any other players. Shinola, we're just tying down to a new contract. His contract's expiring in a year. He's now very happy to obviously talk to us as well, which is great. But at the moment, this is what your team looks like. Shinola, who will be an absolute revelation in goal for us. Fort, who's the new right back signing. Mawissa and Gozzi. Alioski, the new left back signing. New midfield 2. Shane Sanof's come back in with Mullet playing as Segundo Volante. Indor, in Garda, Cisse and Dosu, all in behind Collie. It's a front 4 that we're very, very, very familiar with. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you've enjoyed the planning episode for Season 5, our first year in League One, Let me know in the comment section down below that you've enjoyed the episode. Give it a like. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. The support has been great. Lastly, I will also say, is there a position that you think we should go out there and sign? Do you think we should go for a centre-back, or do you think we should keep the partnership that's been so good for us and allow Wissa one chance in top flight? I'm leaning towards leaving him to that one chance, because I do think there's a footballer that can develop into a League 1 footballer here. From Damo, everybody else here at Paris 13 Atletico. I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.